The new Nissan Leaf promises not just a greater driving range, now up to a claimed 235 miles NEDC, but also a much more engaging driving experience.
It's also intended to be the linchpin of what Nissan calls a new electric ecosystem, where renewable energy systems all come together to power your house and save the world.
We can't tell you how that's going to pan out, but we have now driven the 2018 Leaf in European specification. Up a volcano in Tenerife to test out its increased performance, and then down again to test its energy conservation capabilities. What's different about the European specification 2018 Nissan Leaf?
The European version, which for these purposes does still include the UK dash, gets a special chassis tuned to suit our more dynamic driving tastes.
Compared to the Japanese version, the springs are softer, the dampers are harder, the anti-roll bars stiffer, and there is extra structural reinforcement to help all other suspension stuff work more effectively.
Nerdy detail alert, but we particularly like that the European cars get stiffer bump stops on the boot lid to make that a more strength-enhancing part.
We also get steering with 2.6 turns lock-to-lock rather than 3.2, which together with revised steering weighting gives the Leaf a moderate sense of enthusiasm about corners.
It's a likable package.
Body roll is largely kept successfully in check, it's grippy and it keeps much of the ride comfort of the Japanese car. Together with the extra performance now available from the motor, we'd even go so far as to say it's fun, in a modest, eco-conscious sort of way.
Tell me more about the 2018 Nissan Leaf's extra performance. With 40 kilowatt-hours of battery power to play with now, Nissan has also increased the output from the motor to 148 horsepower and 236 pounds-foot, upgrades of 38% and 26% respectively.
This is enough extra juice to drop the 0 to 62 miles per hour time from 11.5 seconds to just 7.9. Eat that, poisonous diesels.
It still runs out of puff more noticeably than a combustion engine at higher speeds. Full whack is just 89 miles per hour, but with the whole bundle of torque available instantly.
Step-off is nice and positive, making it a usefully thrusting companion in competitive urban dicing and much less buttock clenching when overtaking slower countryside traffic.
How worried should I be about the driving range?
You've got to be realistic about how far you're likely to want to drive on a single charge, but the upgrade would appear to make the new Leaf much more viable for many people.
How close you'll get to that 235-mile claim depends entirely on how and where you drive it.
Give it a kicking and the range will descend very quickly. Take a more measured approach, make the most of the Leaf's various eco-assistance systems and you'll never experience any anxiety.
All it really takes is practice. Only you know whether you've got the patience.
Given driving the Leaf is a generally relaxing experience, there's genuinely some satisfaction to be had from figuring out how to make it go further.
What are these eco-assistance systems of which you speak?
There's the obvious eco mode, which reduces performance and other losses to maximize the battery, plus a B transmission setting that carries over from the old Leaf.
This increases the amount of regeneration you get from the motor when slowing down compared to the regular D driving mode.
The headline grabber for Leaf K2, however, is the new e-pedal.
This is like B mode, only even more so.
To the extent that Nissan reckons that with this engaged you can drive 90% of the time without touching the brake pedal.
Instead you simply modulate the accelerator to achieve Zen like one pedal green driving god status. Given enough notice, which actually isn't that much, this system will even bring you to a complete halt, the drag from the electric motor seamlessly blending with electronic activation of the old school friction brakes as speeds decrease. For the same reason it even works when the batteries are completely full, which would make conventional Regan braking impossible.
We like it.
It's fun.
But it's also not that different to all those Regan modes available using the paddle shifters and some rivals, and having the paddle shifters gives you more variable control.
For having the e-pedal switched on all the time won't allow you make the most of momentum, which is another way of making the battery energy go further.
So for the very best eco progress you really need to juggle all the available settings. Something Nissan's scattershot button approach doesn't easily allow you to do.